Hi friends, so in 15 minutes I want to show you how you could set up and run a profitable cleaning business if you live in the diaspora as an immigrant just like myself. My name is Oga Hans and welcome to this wonderful channel. So first and most importantly, if you're looking for a business that would potentially help you grow your wealth and live a very independent life if you live abroad. I think cleaning business is one of those easiest, the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to setting up a business that we don't need so much capital, initial capital. We don't need so much overhead costs to run it profitably. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a lowdown, a detailed lowdown of how to start from scratch to finish to when your business start generating reasonable income. If this is something you want, if this is something you have been looking forward to, I want you to give this video a thumbs up, follow this channel, because in this channel I'll be making our time to discuss how immigrants like you and myself can set up profitable businesses wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the UK, you are in Canada, US, anywhere around Europe, and of course anywhere you are, even in Nigeria. So if this is what you want and this is going to make sense to you, stick around and follow me as I detail how to set up a profitable business in this particular. I need you to understand the categories of a cleaning business. So if you live in the UK, for instance, where I live at the moment, there are majorly four categories in the cleaning business. So number one of it is the Airbnb cleaning. Number two is the domestic cleaning. Number three is the end of rent, end of tenancy, end of rent, depends on where you are in the world. And the last one is the commercial cleaning. In this four categories, I'm just going to talk about it briefly. So each category, Airbnb, of course, you know what Airbnb is. Airbnb is more like a makeshift kind of apartment kind of place where people come in, stay for a while and leave. So when they leave, you come in as the cleaner and tidy up the place and put it back in the form where it can be used by another individual. Second is the domestic. So domestic is coming to people's houses and tidying up their houses, their kitchen, their bedroom, their toilets, and the likes. Then for the end of tenancy, wherever you are in the world, if you are focusing on end of tenancy, you are talking about tidying up a house where probably a tenant has stayed for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, as the case may be, cleaning it up and making it a bit more cleaner, habitable for the next tenant to come in. Then last is the commercial. This is a much more bigger, category where you're focusing on churches, big offices, schools, and the likes. Now let's go to the step by step of what you need to do as a beginner in this business, from the first step to the last. So number one, pick a business name. It's very important because, of course, you're opening this business in a foreign country. You don't want to pick a name that is biased religiously or ethnically. So pick a name that is very neutral, a name that is easy to remember, a name that resonates with the people who you want to potentially serve. So pick a name that is easy, simple, right? So for instance, a name like A and B Cleaning Services, Sparkle and Shine Cleaning. These names are neutral. They are not affiliated to any particular religion or ethnic group or whatever it is. So this is the kind of name you want to pick that is very memorable. Your potential clients can easily remember them and they can easily want to deal with you. Step two is registering your business. So I used to have a friend, Kingsley, who started off actually a cleaning business. And what he did was he actually just started off. He started as a sole trader and he ran this business for about 6 months. Luckily for him, it became very profitable. But what happened was Kingsley had picked a name that was actually very good and he ran with it. But when Kingsley wanted to now go, when he saw the profitability of the business, he wanted to now go really, really deep into the business. He wanted to go register the business, and get a domain name. And he realized the name he had picked was not available. When he went to the government platform to register the business, he also realized the name was not also available. So it made things very difficult for him. That is what happens when you do not consider, first of all, registering your business. So I'm going to talk about that because it's very key. So when starting off from the on-go, be very keen about figuring out the name and registering the name. So first registration is getting the domain name. So for instance, you have selected A and B cleaning services. The first thing you ought to do, considering we're in the internet age, go and secure the name of that, the domain name of that business. So if it's A and B cleaning services, go right there, search for the domain name. You can use GoDaddy, you can use hosting app. There are quite a lot of platforms that, of course, provide these services. So go search and ensure that name is available and secure the domain name. That's the first thing you ought to do, because at some point you would want to, of course, set up a proper professional website, which is very, very good for your business image, if you know what I mean. So go secure your domain name. Two, you're going to also decide how you want to run your business. Are you going to run it as a sole proprietorship, or you're going to run it as a limited liability company? If you're in the UK, for instance, you have two categories. So you can run it as a sole trader, or you can run it as a limited liability. Now, regardless of where you are in this circle, you can profitably run and do your business, right? But if you have a long-term plan, you have a long-term goal, long-term vision for your business, I would most likely encourage you to, from the on-go, register your business under the limited liability category. And if you're in the UK, you just go to company house, register, pay £50, and off you go. You have a business fully registered under the government, and you are up and running. Step 3 is branding. Branding is very key. So when I talk about branding, I'm talking about picking a simplistic logo, picking a simple brand color for your business. Now, for the business you're going to, which is the cleaning business, pick a simplistic logo, a logo that is very simple, easy to associate with. Don't go for something too complex. You can actually do it yourself. You can go on Canva and make a nice logo for yourself, your business, and pick a consistent brand color. I would always suggest to my folks, if you are coming to a cleaning business, a blue color, a green color, something within this will be very, very good for a cleaning business. So pick this, your logo. Then, of course, your brand color is very key. And one other important thing that will be very good for your branding would be to start opening up good social media platforms for your business. So there are lots of social media platforms, but the most important ones for a cleaning business would be Facebook and Instagram, because this is where you will meet potential clients who are willing to buy your services. Because from the records, Facebook users are always within the threshold of 30, 35, up to 60. These are the kind of people you will be targeting for your business. So Facebook is important. Instagram is very important. So open a Facebook page for your business and brand it properly. So when people land on your Facebook page, then of course you are able to capture them, because they know you are actually very ready for the business. A website is also important for your brand. However, as a beginner, you're not mandated to, of course, set up a website. A website is good, but if you don't have enough resources for that, or if you're still bootstrapping, you can leave a website for later. But set up a social media platform, set up your logo, do your brand color, and set these things out from, of course, the on-go. Step 4 will now be the marketing of your business. Making sales is the bloodline of every business. Making sales is the life wire. Sales is the life wire of any business. So if you're not making sales, no business will survive. So the things you need to start doing would be, first, to create a flyer for your business. So if you want to start marketing your business, you need to create a flyer, a postcard, and a complimentary card. So what a flyer does for you is you can be going out there, meeting people, and not just talking to them, but also showing them what your business is all about. So in your flyer, of course, your logo will be on your flyer, a detailed information about the services you're rendering, the cost of the services, usually your telephone number, your email address. These things ought to be reflected in your flyer, which is very, very important. Your flyer is one of the good marketing materials for your cleaning business. Of course, your complimentary card. These are the ones you can take for events, when you go to church or go to some kind of settings. You don't want to share flyers in those kind of environments. So what you do is you give your complimentary card to individuals who you perceive would be potential clients. The final step would be setting out a business plan and a policy for your business. So because you are futuristic about your business, you need to set out the policies and the modus operandi, how you're going to be running your business, how you're going to be getting clients, how you're going to be getting people to support you do the job. Because at the end of the day, when the business start getting a lot of clients, you may not be able to do it alone. That is when the business are growing. So you need to set out plans on how to get people to work for you. It may not be on a contractual basis. It may be on a no contract basis where if you get a job, you can pick one or two persons to help you execute the job and pay them as they go. So these are the things. So you need to set up how to get them, what will be the policy on how they will be operating. You also need to start thinking about the security of the property you're going to be using, and all these things have to be in place. Also your business plan, because in your business plan you're going to be detailing how you're going to be getting clients, how you're going to be making sales, how you're going to be marketing your business, and also making financial projections for your business as the year progresses. So these are the 5 major steps to start off a cleaning business from the scratch and taking it to the profitable level it ought to be. This video will be continued. However, I've given you 5 major steps for anyone who wants to start a cleaning business in the diaspora, from step 1 to step 5. I hope this helps you. If this video has been valuable to you, kindly give it a thumbs up, follow this channel, like this channel, and subscribe to this channel. Of course, we are going to be sharing more tips on how to run a cleaning business profitably, especially in the UK and wherever you are in the world. The same model applies. A cleaning business in the UK is the same way it can be run in Canada, in the US, and anywhere in the world. My name is Oga Hans. I'm also an immigrant in the UK, and I have been able to establish a profitable cleaning business in the UK, and I'm here to detail everything you will need and you will need to do to also run a profitable business in the UK. I want to thank you for taking your time to watch this video. If you have questions, comments, please do well to drop it in the comments. I will do well to respond to every one of you. I want to thank you for taking time to watch. Again, subscribe to this channel, like this video, so that it can get across to other immigrants and other people who are interested in establishing a cleaning business in the UK. And like I said, I'm going to take this amount of time to shoot this video, and here we are just under a minute. So thank you very much for sticking around. I'll see you again. Cheers.